Ghana referee finally came out and cleared the air, guys. Omo, from what he said, clearly shows how good and calm Ghanaians are.
Meet our referee from yesterday, man. I just came across him on the street and listen. I mean, that game yesterday was crazy. It was crazy. You know, my fellow Nigerians at this point, I don't think they feel like they're not happy with you.
No, it's okay. It's football.
It's football. Woo! Oh, but thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Now you guys have seen, right? What I said earlier, there's not objection about it because Ghanaians are very good people. Look at the way people were talking, insulting him online. But look at the statement he made after seeing everything that Nigerians posted about him online. That's to show that where he comes from, there's no joke when it comes to respect and humanity. Now, let's take a look at Ghanaians' reaction after and before Nigerians took down his social media account. But before we watch, I would love to give a shout out to my returning subscribers. Thank you so much for clicking in. And if you're new here, my name is Delphina. I'm super excited returning back to you. Please don't make it your last by subscribing to the channel, like this video and share the video. Also do well to press the notification bell to get notified whenever I drop another one. Let's get right into it.
Those of you saying this man is inexperienced, those of you saying this man at the top there is inexperienced, let me tell you something, right? He's been a referee since 2005 from the ranks of the Ghana Premier League. 2012, he earned his CAF refereeing badge. As compared to other referees who were also in the... You relax, right? Look at this, right? 2012, he earned his CAF refereeing badge. 2014, he earned his FIFA refereeing badge. So he's been a referee since 2014. 2014 up until now, that's 12 years ago, almost 12 years ago. And you're telling me this guy is inexperienced. How is this guy inexperienced? The only flaw I can have against him is that he's just a bit too careful and he doesn't allow the game to freely flow. But that's not even a flaw, because as a result of he being like he trying to officiate the match very well. Come on, let's stop these cheap things, and he didn't do anything.
I can't believe what I'm saying. I just can't believe it. Nigerians are all over the internet. They are all over the world crucifying the innocent Ghanaian referee who officiated the match between Nigeria, the semi-final match between Nigeria and Morocco, the host nation, last night. Yes. I mean, these Nigerians, did they watch the same game we all watch? For them to blame an innocent referee, a referee that even ignored a clear penalty against Nigeria. You are not grateful. You are rather crucifying this innocent man. Now watch the match stats. Watch the statistics. And the figures speak for themselves. Nigeria, you only had one shot. Also, is one or two shots. And Morocco had 16 shots. Morocco, you had one good shot on target. One shot on target. Good shot on target. One. Morocco had 5. You understand? You just your team went to sleep last night. Apart from your defender, Calvin Bassi. The rest of the team didn't play well. And look at how you played penalties. As if some of your players never kicked a ball before. And you ignore all that and then you blame Ghanaian referee, who denied a clear handball, a clear penalty against you. If he had that penalty, if the referee had called that penalty against Nigeria, Nigeria would have been out of this tournament within the 90 minutes. But because you are our neighbors, our referee decided to at least spare you and give you and prolong your life to penalty. You are not even grateful. You understand? Please stop the noise. You are even lucky. You were lucky our referee extended your life and gave you opportunity to win the game in penalties. But you failed. In fact, I don't even know why you guys are angry. Because look, the best team in this tournament, in this AFCON, is Morocco. Undoubtedly, the best team in the tournament is Morocco. And yet, you think that you've been cheated. Please, go and organize yourselves and come back. Better luck next time, Nigeria. After all, Ghana, we've qualified. We will be in the World Cup. So, you can come and support us.
I beg, I beg, I beg, I beg, I beg, I beg. You don't do me, not leave referee alone. Let's assume now say they bribe referee safe. Let's assume now say the Morocco bribe referee. For instance, now what can happen for penalties? Penalty time. No, no see which squares they play for there. Even if na me, what be say I know they play international ball. Even if na me, if that keeper go touch that ball, his hand go pen am. Chukwueze they go the romance ball. Person they play for. Person we say don't play for AC Milan. You go, bro. I talk this thing say. Before Nigeria go dey win ball, make una comot all these Super Eagles players. None of them dey serious when they reach to play for their country. None of them dey serious if they reach to play for their country. But if na their club, they dey kill themselves. Na that one be their club. If we not stop to dey use all these people dey play Nigeria ball, we no go ever win anything. Those guys, they are not serious. People dey for street, go Enyimba, go Kano this thing, Kano football clubs. Go Enugu Rangers, go big boys from there. People will get energy. People will really people will get appetite to play ball. People be say they never see money for football. People be say they go play for club to sign them. People will get the agreement, the agility. People will get the urge, the agility to play ball. Nobody see yeah people. Chukwueze come make me they cry yesterday. We be say I hypocrite. Even if person crying, I no go fit cry. Yesterday I can't cry. I lost appetite. Chukwueze, this 500 I keep on for you. Anywhere for see you, I go give you any day, anytime.
AFCON is like a World Cup to me.
I look at the AFCON and think, why is the AFCON at the time of the season when the African players in Europe have to now leave their clubs? It makes it difficult for the European players. Because this could go against African players when they're going to be purchased by a club because, I'm going to lose him at Christmas.
That is something that I've thought about all these years. You know, it affects most of the clubs that they have the African players, the important players in it. It should get to a time that FIFA or CAF to have a place, you know, during off season for this AFCON. That is my opinion. You can see a club maybe leading the league table, all the players go to AFCON in January, and then they start dropping points. AFCON is like a World Cup to me. That is what every African footballer thinks.
Rate the Ghanaian referee out of 10.
6 or 7 on 10.
6. The man agree me. I will give him an 8 on 10. I'll give him an 8.5 on 10.
6 on 10. Okay, I think out of 10, I'll give the referee a 7 on 10.
Out of 40%, really. It's that.
10 on 10.
4
Out of 10, yeah.
I guess 9.
9.
Super Eagles lost to Morocco, host nation. And I see a lot of people, they blame the referee because he's a Ghanaian, because of the online banter between Ghanaians and Nigeria. No. For me, I will give that ref 8/10. They try. The places where you feel say for give yellow card to Moroccan players, who you know give. Host nation always gets more leverage for football. That's why playing host nation is about the essence of this process will tell you. Because I see a lot of people that don't blame Super Eagles. No. They played their best. They were determined to win. And I think they deserved all the accolade from us, the fans and supporters of the Super Eagles. Super Eagles tried. Every one of them put in their best. It's just that penalty kick no be Nigerian thing. So for those where they blame the referee, they go report the referee Instagram. No. I don't think that's necessary. Because the referee was actually professional enough. That's why they rate him 8/10. So, but fine and good. We don't knock out. But one thing I like so much is that Super Eagles played with devotion. They were devoted to the game this time around. They played with that zeal to win. But in the game of football, one person must win. congratulations to Super Eagles and to everyone who supports the Nigerian Super Eagles. It's another day to remind us to be real, to be unique, and be everything Africa. Go wait to watch final.
The way the Nigerians are bullying this Ghanaian referee on social media is pathetic, bro. It is disgusting. They need to check on his mental health because this is not looking good for him. The way those people are reacting as if he's the one who told Chukwueze to make that penalty. They are reacting as if he's responsible for Nigerians not getting a shot on target in the game. Bro, 120 minutes, you didn't create any chance, you didn't score any goal, and you are now blaming the referee. Bro, the referee did absolutely nothing. He did not do anything to affect your qualification, bro. Now they've taken down his Instagram account through mass report. They are bullying him on social media. Check his comment section, bro. Look at how the Nigerians are reacting. As if he told Chukwueze to make that penalty. And the funny thing is, they've gone silent on this incident. Because this was a clear handball. If the referee had something against Nigeria, he could have given this as a penalty. And nothing will happen. But because he had pure intentions, he said no penalty. And of which everyone accepted it. But because you couldn't qualify, you are trying to blame the referee, bro.
There was an official taking the decisions as you saw from Daniel Lai. Would you be happy?
I'll have absolutely no qualms about it.
Why?
Why? Because that was a top-level performance. A top-level performance from a top referee. Look, we constantly complain about referees over-reffing games. Yes, there were one or two niggles in there where you would want a foul, but it's a high-stakes environment. You want the game to flow. He allowed certain fouls to go, play the advantage for the flow of the game not to be cut consistently. Yes, you can point on one or two, oh, this one should have been a yellow card, this one should have been a foul. But the bottom line is, which game doesn't that happen in? Which one? Mention one game where you've seen a referee have every single decision correct and no opposition, no fan from either side will have qualms about the decision. It's normal. There are certain decisions. You see, I was listening to former Premier League referee Mark Clattenburg the other day, and he made a very distinct statement. He said, football is a very subjective sport. What you see as a foul may not be what I see as a foul. That's why the ref is there. And that's why the ref's decision is final. There are things that are obvious, yes, but there are things that are also very subjective. For example, the Mbomo tackle, the one the Moroccan guy tackled him. There was a school of thought that also felt that Mbomo led his leg. Yeah. And it was a very similar incident to what happened. Yes, it's a very similar incident to what happened to Arsenal and Bayern Munich in the Champions League 2 seasons ago. Okay. But because a certain narrative had been set that CAF brought in this referee, then it means the referee cheated. But when it happened to Saka and Arsenal, nobody said that UEFA brought in the referee for this thing. You get it? So these things happen. And yes, sometimes you look at major decisions like that and have conflict, which is very normal. But in this particular game, which decision or game-altering decision happened in this game where you can say this referee was bad and he performed badly? You can't point to anything.
I can point to one. The Calvin Bassey yellow card. I felt it was unfair to the player.
It shouldn't have been a yellow card.
Because
and what did it change about the game?
The player dragged him.
Yes,
Diaz dragged him.
I'm saying that.
And then he was trying to get the better of Diaz. Then Diaz has to hold his face. You can't give Calvin Bassey a yellow card.
The point is, first of all, for yellow card decisions, he can't go and check VAR. So what he sees is what he has. You saw replay, so that's okay for you. Second of all, was it game altering? What did you do? Did he give Morocco a goal?
But decisions of that nature can have a psychological impact on a footballer. Knowing very well that the way the referee is handling this game, we need to be very cautious with our challenges. And that gives an advantage to your opponent.
The thing is,
clearly,
how many yellow cards did he give? How many fouls did he give? If anything,
did you see they were chasing the Moroccan player to collect the ball? A blow with a fee. Did you see everyone was confused?
Did you see the decision? Did you see the decision in the second half? Yes. Late in the second half.
Yes.
When Morocco had an attack, their player was fouled clearly.
Yes.
He allowed it to flow.
Yes.
The what do you call it? Advantage went on to Nigeria. They counter attack. Morocco literally stopped playing and wanted the foul. He said the game should continue.
Yes.
So he also cheated Morocco.
There were 1,001 of them against Morocco.
No, you see, that's the reason is there was a certain narrative that was set. It's narrative. If you go back and you count, if you go back and you want to count decisions, then you have. If you've not gone back, then I will say that because they say you will cheat. Everybody is looking, and there's psychological tactics. Everybody is waiting for that opportunity where this is one against Nigeria. Then they count it. then you automatically rub off everything that happened against Morocco, and you're just focusing on what happened against Nigeria. The point is, there was no game-altering decision in this thing. You can't look at this game and say, Danala is the reason why Nigeria lost.
But the fact too is that Morocco did not find themselves in a position where he would take a game-altering decision.
So just go and kick somebody and wait for him to make it. I don't get it.
I never hear from ultimately.
So, according to reports coming in and what I've seen online, they say the referee who officiated the match between Nigeria and Morocco, no, his account has been taken down because some Nigerians feel like the game that he officiated, no, he was totally biased. So they've gone to report the account and it has been taken down.
Why?
Now, bro, first of all, Nigeria, you people, you are brothers and we love you guys. Like, we love you guys to death. But trust me, this thing is total pettiness.
I'm telling you.
And I won't say the whole of Nigeria because I know that this one, it be some few people. Because if you are telling me that you played 90 minutes against an opponent like Morocco, which you all know that these people, they are clearly like more experienced than you people. You played against them for 90 minutes. You go extra time. And even that one aside, let's talk about the penalties. Do you know instances where this referee was supposed to take penalty against you guys, but then this referee overlooked the whole thing? This video, for instance, this is a clear penalty that the referee clearly overlooked. Now, according to the FIFA rule, me, I'm not an expert, but it doesn't take an expert to see this thing. According to the FIFA rule, if the ball is coming towards the player and the arm or the hand is in a natural position and the ball can't touch the hand, this is not a penalty. If the hand is supporting the body from falling and the ball can't touch the hand, it no be penalty. But look at this one. The hand clearly moved away from the body. It made the body bigger. So clearly this is a penalty. But this one, when a referee no take more. Another one, this particular incident, your player clearly took down his player without his leg touching the ball. They no take penalty.
You get it?
Another one, your player came from afar to come and cut him down without his leg touching the ball. This one, or they no take. A lot of things happened that the referee overlooked. You people are claiming that there was a penalty that the referee didn't take. If the referee take all these penalties for the people, what will be the scores? Your player Chukwueze, as he come, he dey chewing gum like he dey go runway fashion show. He can't play the ball, throw the ball away where you people, you know, winner. You are blaming the referee. If you people have any anger, you will not direct it towards the player. Chukwueze, the one who played the ball where you people know go the final, no. He can't play the ball like he be model. He's chewing gum.
We don't fear God.
Are you Pele? He throw the ball away, you are blaming referee.
Why?
How? You ask yourself this question, when normal human being will come this far to come and be a referee, and you think he will risk a common banter between Ghana and Nigeria just to lose his job? Who will do that?